How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff, not just Kaiju number 8. We cover plenty of manga on the channel, so stick around, check it out, see if anything else catches your interest. And we've also set up a Discord for the subscribers, so you can check that out in the description down below if you'd like to join and hang out. So anyway, getting into the topic of today's video, yeah, we're talking about Iharu Furuhashi. I didn't really expect to be talking about him, but somebody decided to ask on Reddit everybody's thoughts on Iharu. So yeah, here we are. I went down the rabbit hole. That's kind of just what I do. So my first initial impressions of Iharu were probably similar to most people's. Figured he was just cocky, arrogant, was always the big dog, always the best in his group of friends or in his school or whatever it may be. He was just always that top dog. Those people tend to be arrogant, tend to be a little cocky. Whether it is deserved or not, earned or not, that's up for debate. Doesn't really matter. That's just how they tend to be sometimes. But we're actually led to doubt this way of thinking pretty early on, even for how short the series is right now. Iharu told everybody that he was saved by Mina back in the day, and through that experience gained a great amount of admiration for Mina. I also think this moment was a big turning point in Furuhashi's life, where he decided that he wanted to be stronger. He wanted to be strong enough not only to protect himself, but also do what Mina did for others. Now, after this, you could still believe that he was always the big dog growing up because, well, kaiju were kind of another thing. If you're the big dog at school and then your school gets attacked by a kaiju, oh, that kind of all just goes out the window. It's a kaiju, for God's sake, and he was a child without a defense force suit. He wasn't Shinomiya, he was just a school kid. Can't really do much about that. So, yeah, you can still kind of be up in the air on this if you want to be, but this very quickly gets challenged even more, because when you first see Iharu in the face of danger, Reno is right there with him. Remember, throughout all of their training and everything leading up to this moment, Reno started out at a percentage of 8, I believe it was, on his combat unleashed power. Iharu started out at a 14. So starting out 6 points above this kid has very little experience. You went to a technical college that was like about killing kaiju or whatever. So yeah, you should be above him. And now, after that, Reno starts catching up to Iharu throughout their training. He is making quicker progress than Iharu is. Then we get to the moment where both of them meet kaiju number 9 for the first time. After this, Iharu gets shot in the shoulder. Now, I will give Iharu a little credit. He is in a more dire situation than Reno here. He is the one who actually got shot. But despite this, we still get to see which one of them stays calm and collected in the face of adversity, and which one of them starts to lose their cool a little bit. The real important detail here is they have suits on that can stop the bleeding. Furuhashi this isn't a lethal wound to him. This is a wound that can easily be dealt with, yet he's still sitting there freaking out because it won't stop bleeding, instead of staying calm, using the suit to stop the bleeding. He didn't use his resources, he started to lose his cool. Reno did the opposite. This scene is so incredibly important to Furuhashi's character, if you ask me. Not for the fact that, oh, it downplays him, it makes him look bad, whatever. No, none of that. It shows that he isn't that cocky, arrogant, bravado-filled guy. He hasn't always been the top dog. But we're not quite done with this moment. There is one more important detail that gets given to us throughout this fight between Reno, Furuhashi, and number 9. Reno does what Kafka did at the very beginning of the series. He tells Iharu to go and call for help, and he'll hold him off so he'll be okay. Iharu does the exact same thing that Reno did. He comes back and ends up tackling Reno out of the way of a blast to save him at the very last moment. So, what Iharu says after this or during these moments is really the most important thing. His actions say a lot, but his thoughts say even more. He says, "This pisses me off. I'm so pissed and I'm so tired of this." But Reno isn't the person that I'm pissed at. He's not the reason I'm mad. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at the guy who's no better than he used to be, the guy who is still getting saved. That moment with Mina really did a lot for Furuhashi. It inspired him, but it drove him to get stronger. He wasn't always the strongest. He wasn't always super strong. He wasn't always super confident. But from the moment Mina saved him to the moment he graduated from, be it a technical college, valedictorian of a technical college. That tells me Iharu was not always filled with bravado and arrogance. That tells me he worked to the bone. He worked so hard ever since that moment that Mina saved him to try and live up to an iota of what Mina is as a person and what she is capable of. He has worked to the absolute bone just to get to where he is. Now, for him to see this work that up until now was paying off phenomenally. Yeah, he was valedictorian. He was the top dog of that technical college while he was there. All of that hard work up until joining the Defense Force made him the top dog. And now, before that work can even fully pay off, before that work can even fully get him to a good spot in the Defense Force, it's all already being challenged. Not just by kaiju that can easily kill you, something to be afraid of, and fear is another thing we have to deal with. He also has to adapt to people like Reno coming for his spot. So yeah, I don't think Iharu's story is one about somebody who was always the best and is now afraid that they're going to lose that position. I think it's more of a story about a normal person who ended up having their life changed and decided to work as hard as they possibly could to get to the top. And the moment they got there, as soon as they got to the top, it's already being taken away from them. And they're afraid of that. He's also starting to realize that the top was so much further than he ever thought in the first place. And to get there, it's going to be a journey fraught with fear and danger, and that's something you're going to have to learn how to overcome in the moment. That is something that I think happened in that fight with Reno in number 9. I think that was the first time he really had to overcome the fear of death in the moment, and that does kind of make sense considering, well, he's a rookie. Hadn't really had to deal with that a lot. So yeah, I think there's a lot more going on with Iharu than just the cocky, bravado-esque, just arrogant guy. I think there's a lot more there, and I think he's a much more interesting character. But that's it for Iharu. Let me know what you guys think down below, not just about Iharu the character, but also about this style of video and me doing it and what you guys think, because I never feel like these videos are the best when I do them. I always feel like I get all this information about the character and I can never get it in a good order or get it across in the proper manner. I don't even know how to describe my ill feelings toward these style of videos that I do. They're really interesting to me, and I love going through and looking up all the stuff and thinking about all of it and getting it all together and just going over the stuff about the character in my head. I enjoy that. I don't know. I don't feel like I do a good job on these style of videos. But anyway, that's for you guys to decide, I guess, not really me. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.